Hey, everybody. I'm Kelly Ellers,
I'm Jeffrey Lennon.
and this is Volume Up by the Tees. So I'm back from vacation.
All is right with the world.
It's
The
right
intro,
and as well.
the intro is as it should be, and not the other way around. There's a lot of pressure getting that enunciation correct. Welcome back. How was
Thank you.
the trip?
The trip was a trip, a TRIP trip. Yeah. So we headed out to my kids and my husband are really into collecting baseball, football, whatever cards, like the old nostalgic. We're bringing out the binders. That was a little hobby that they picked up during COVID. And so this happened to be the National Card Show, of which we had a trip in Atlantic City. And that's really all there was to it.
It could be several podcasts to talk about. Well, we're glad that you made it back
Yes.
from the east.
I'm actually really glad I made it back.
Did you have any interesting foods while you were there?
We did have a Philly cheesesteak, which was lovely.
Good.
Because we stopped a little stop in Philly. We saw the Liberty Bell. We saw
the Rocky Steps.
And we swung by Betsy Ross's house just to check out the old flag sewing. So it was a full trip, full hearts, full minds, some baseball cards bought, and also a pair of Yeezy foam runners purchased. That is all I have to say about that. They're not mine. They're my child's.
I would pay to see you in Yeezy foam runners.
They fit me.
Well, we're glad you're back.
Yeah. Anyway, we're back.
So it could be a thing. If you guys want to see Kelly in foam runners, let us know. I certainly do.
So anyway, other things that are happening in the world include the skunk stripe hair trend is back. How do you feel about that?
I'm into, I feel like it's because I grew up when I did, and there was that little show with Stacey London, and she had such a good streak. Like I like positive association with the skunk. I don't love the two-tone Cruella de Vil situation, but I do love a subtle, and like The Graduate, like that was great hair. So I'm pro. I'm glad that it's a thing. I like changing it up with different colors, but I also like a classic streak of white if it can be done.
Yeah, and I thought that was called a forelock. Was it not?
Oh, forelock. That I love. I feel like that's a horse term.
Do you want a skunk stripe or a forelock?
Forelock. It does make me think like horsey mane, but I don't want a skunk stripe. Nobody. Speaking of skunks, and we're gonna just quickly. I was catching up on Stranger Things, much too late. I'm now fully caught up, if anybody wants to know, and talk about that. And late at night while watching, heard some scratching that I thought at first was part of the show.
Oh, wow.
Upon turning on my porch light, saw a very, very, very large skunk just digging away at my deck. Had never seen a skunk in real life. It was huge. And yeah, so I mean, I get why people call it the skunk stripe, is what I'm getting at.
It's there.
But I don't like it for a human. Yeah.
I mean, tell me you didn't startle said skunk, because that is not good.
So I turn on the light, and that was enough to give it some warning. And it was far enough away that like I could recognize that is a skunk, a very, very big one. And I just stood there and it looked at me, and then it sort of just like scurried away without doing the spray thing. I was like, so yeah.
Urban skunk, you say?
Yes. It surprised me. California, I'm more accustomed to seeing like a coyote, but there it was, just doing its skunky thing.
What was it digging for? Garbage, I suppose. Yeah.
These are questions we'll never answer.
We'll never know. Rascals they are.
Speaking of rascals.
Yeah. I, had a great chat on last episode with Jeff Garner. He is a romantic visual artist, pioneer, and unconventional designer. He has a sustainable label, Prophetic. Super interesting. It's on the path of really transforming the industry, leading the evolution of fashion, and changing our perception of luxury. He was wildly fascinating. His vision is to bring awareness to toxins found in commercial synthetic fashion and health implications to the human body to allow everyone their own choice on the fabrics they're putting on their body. So I talked with him about his journey, Prophetic, the brand, and also the importance of sustainable fashion. even went so far as to talk about where he's getting these materials. I mean, foraging for buttons was never in my brain before this. However, now I must admit, I'm looking at an acorn differently. I don't know. So, really, really interesting. He joined us from his California location and a great guest. So, if you like guests like him, make sure that you subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Go ahead and do that, guys. And this week, Kelly talked with Starr Mason, a dynamic, caring, and personable leader. Starr has distinguished herself with nearly 25 years of service to the hair Cuttery family of brands. In that time, she's been awarded the Field Education Leader of the Year in 2018 and led her teams to numerous company honors. Humble by nature, Starr says that she's looking to grow and learn professionally, adding, "Everyone is my teacher." She leads virtual and in-person training sessions for hair Cuttery's salon professionals and leaders throughout the company, including a recent program aimed at improving work-life balance, about which she's passionate. Of course, as a longtime beauty professional and stylist, Starr can walk the walk as well as talk the talk when it comes to hairstyling. She loves to create stretch sets on natural hair, long and layered short haircuts, wet sets on natural and relaxed hair, and color and foil highlighting. Starr is Redken-certified in color and finishing. Her specialty is cutting, coloring, and finishing textured hair. Her combination of hairstyling knowledge and genuine empathy make her an ideal field education leader and brand ambassador, and you're going to love her. Other things that you're maybe going to love, or at least we hope, are some things that we've been seeing pop up on the talk on the internets. One of which, I'm just going to say it because we know how I feel about slugging for the skin. There is a hair trend about slugging. Kelly, do you want to talk to us a little bit about hair slugging?
Yes. So you know how the glass skin look was out? I mean, it's kind of went over into nails too. So if you're unfamiliar with the technique for hair, it's basically to lock in moisture. So it sounds super gross, slugging, right? And you think of Vaseline on your face and gross petroleum-based products, right? To help hydrate your skin. That's what slugging is from a facial perspective. Hair
Gross.
slugging, as I mentioned, it's simple. You put the serum on before you go to bed, cover your hair with a fuzzy sock, which I think how is my hair getting in a fuzzy sock? But that's a whole different thing. And then you wake up with shiny hair of your dreams. And so slugging, yes. I could also call this deep conditioning. I don't know.
I was going to say, so this
I
is a
don't
little
know.
bit of we are calling something else, because it was controversial before.
Yes.
So there's that. Hair slugging, I'm very pro. Skin slugging, disgusting.
Yeah, right.
I'm not putting Vaseline on my face, but I will deep condition. Let's all get around this. Let's all embrace hair slugging.
I mean, I've been known to walk around my house with a full head of conditioner squarely soaking into my locks.
Yeah.
For hours with no shame.
No,
Kids'
no
friends are
shame.
here. Nope, don't care. Thirsty hair.
Got to take care of that, as should everyone. So, I mean, saw this, thought that everybody would like to know that hair slugging is a thing. It has always been a thing. It should continue to be a thing.
It should.
And we're pro it. So that's a trend that we can all get behind.
Mm-hmm.
Another trend that we're seeing everywhere, I want to know if you would like to get behind, and that is purple blush.
I mean, this is now made cult status thanks to Beauty Talk, right? And so I think for the right skin tone, a little hue of a purple, a little berry kiss, if you will. What movie is that from? Do you know? The Holiday.
Oh God. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, we went from the Barbie fuchsia and now we're over into the color of the moment. And you know, the photo in the article over with our friends at Bustle was Rihanna, and she's got a beautiful lilac gown on with a little hint of purple, and it looks flawless. I love it. I'm going to try it. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, this one's tough. Rihanna can get we've established,
That's
even
true.
on the last podcast with guest
I am
host
not
Monica
Rihanna.
Hickey, Rihanna can do whatever she wants, and it's tough. But the beauty talk of it all convinced me that like it can work on a lot of people. It was surprising. It's tough. Yeah. Well, so we'll see how this goes.
We'll
Purple
see.
blush. Purple blush. Other things that are popping on the internet. things that are on thetease.com. Our editorial team has been hard at work this week uncovering industry news, looking into trends, and diving into brands that you don't know and should. And here are some of our favorite headlines that rival any story about purple blush, I'd say. So the first story that we want to talk to you guys about is Strands for Trans calls out bad legislation and bad hair with recent transphobe takedowns PSAs. As we all know, finding the perfect hair salon that makes you feel at home and caters to all of your needs can be a difficult task. But as frustrating as this process can be for the majority of us, for a trans person, it can be even worse, sometimes even traumatizing, as they face discrimination in salon spaces. It's for this exact reason that barber grooming salon owners JP Gomez and Javier Cruz came together in 2017 to launch Strands for Trans, a global movement that encourages hair salons and barbershops to be trans-friendly. Recently, Strands for Trans has set their sights on calling out anti-LGBTQ+ bills and the lawmakers responsible for their passing. Our editors break down the whole deal in the article over on thetease.com, which you need to check out. So my question for you, Kelly, because this whole thing is about Strands for Trans and their PSA, is have you seen these videos?
I have, and they're spicy, right? But you know what? I think that's what's needed to grab attention, right? I mean, enough already. Can we? Like, visit Strands for Trans website. You can actually register your business there and join their list of trans-friendly barbershops and salons. They have email templates to help condemn anti-trans laws. Let's get behind it. I mean, come the heck on, right?
Come the heck on is right. Over 7,500 salons have joined the movement. So if you're not one of those salons, get into it. Get into it. Read thetease.com. Find out more.
Please do.
Also trending on thetease.com, 4 master stylists share why they love working at JCPenney salons. With so many different options, it can be overwhelming to find your perfect salon home. If you're looking for a place to create, thrive, and feel supported in your hair career, there's no better place than JCPenney Salon. But don't just take our word for it as the editorial team. The Tease tapped 4 of JCPenney's incredible master stylists, Bayar Amin, Carly Mendez, Dariela Montano, and Candace Otis, to share their experience working in JCP salons. Head to thetease.com for more. Lots of beautiful sound bites from everybody. The question that I've got for you, Kelly, because neither you nor I are actual salon pros, although we do love this space, is what is your favorite part of the salon experience? Because they talk all about it from the pro side, but like as a consumer, you're in the salon, what do you like most?
You know, I like the initial consultation, I've got to tell you. I mean, because to me, that's a fun time to be like, okay, let's look at the health of your hair, which I'm always concerned about. I have thinner hair. I also love me some extensions. And so I'm always wondering, like, how am I doing in there? Right? Hair breaking, we're good. And my stylist is awesome. And so we talk about that. We look at some pictures. We're like, let's do some of this, let's do some of that. But what I also love is her opinion. And I love to understand, like, this look looks great, you know, on a celebrity, but it's not right for your face, or this color isn't going to be right for your skin tone. So I'm going to go with the consultation. How about you?
I love that. I mean, so I have short hair at the moment, and I really like, and this is going to sound weird, the like rhythmic feeling of clippers on my head. Like it's like a weird, yeah, very, very, very much so. There's something that feels like very soothing about it.
Yes.
I don't know. It's like a weird baby thing.
I feel like too, the soothing part of a salon. I mean, growing up, literally, like we used to walk to my mom's salon, like after school in like full towels, like legit. And so something about walking into a salon brings me back to my childhood, back to the feeling of like when everyone was sitting in my mom's salon, you feel great when you leave, right? It's just a sense of community and warmth and joy. And there's few places that you can go that you could walk in and not feel great and walk out and feel awesome. So goosebumps. That's why I love our industry.
Well said. Oh, that was so good. That was so good. Speaking of the salon experience, then, this is a perfect segue into the next article on thetease.com that you guys should be checking out, which is called Wella Professionals We Create Virtual Event Promises to be the biggest hair show of the year. Good news, salon pros. Wella Professionals We Create Extravaganza is back and better than ever. After the massive success of last year's inaugural event, Wella Professionals is excited to announce the return of its virtual hair show for 2022. This year's festivities will be held on September 18th. Put it down in your calendars. And will
Mhm.
consist of a 2-hour-long broadcast taking place at 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. EST, with this year's show focusing on the power of transformation. Stylists will be given the knowledge, tools, and opportunities to create positive change for themselves, their customers, and their communities. Go to thetease.com to hear more about this year's events and the schedule. Something that is going to make people feel good is what we're all about. What are you most excited about for this We Create virtual event?
I mean, I love Wella. They're the OG, one of the
No
OG
surprise.
OGs, right? Like cult favorite, classy group, classy brand. And so I love that they're doing this digitally because I think it's harder today in some, well, in most regards, to get somewhere
hear 'em.
physically and come back COVID free and all of the things, right? And so I like that you can tune in from anywhere. And I also like that we're giving a peek inside, all of the global artists. They all have wonderful stage presence and personalities. And so I think, we're talking transformations, we're talking interviews, we're talking tips, we're talking even an immersion into New York Fashion Week, which if you've been to New York Fashion Week or have not been, well, if you've been, it's a deal, right? And it's incredible. And if I were a stylist, I would want to experience it. So this gives you a thought of how you can get there and what it's actually like behind the scenes.
We love that.
Yeah.
As always, so much going on thetease.com. Thanks to our hardworking editors. We are proud to publish stories that salon pros and consumers care about.
All right. That wraps my interview with Starr Mason. Again, super caring, so personable. I love that she has dedicated 25 years of service to hair cuttery. It's absolutely incredible in today's day and age. And you know what? That story about how she was sitting in the parking lot, there were 2 salons, and it's like, I walked in one, I didn't feel like it was home. I walked in a second one, it was hair cuttery, it was home. It's been home for 25 years. And so, I mean, an inspiring leader, kudos to her. Wonderful to get to know kind of her perspective and what she's taught others throughout those 25 years. All right, be sure to hit subscribe, rate and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Volume Up is a Tease Media production. This episode was produced by Monica Hickey and Madeline Hickey. Brian Daly is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to our creative team for putting together the graphics for this episode.